here we go. Okay, so what I've been messing with recently is cutting out in cardstock stills of animations. Most of the stuff I've been doing recently has been geometric 3D animated things such as this. Separated into different sections and cut out of different pieces of paper, but I wanted to see how well it would work with something that was a 2D animated thing that just is one color and one actionable whatever thing. And I also wanted to test out doing a different means of aligning things where I don't have to cut out the registration points, because what I have right here is let me get this just a little louder. I have tacks that are pointed up, and I do need them to be located correctly in relation to the cutouts. So since I'm already cutting it out, I can just throw those onto the file to be cut. But it's annoying to put a piece of paper onto the Cricut mat that has a sticky surface to it, just to cut out these little corners to have them registered in the right location, and then from there remove it from the mat, because in that action it often causes the paper to curl because you're sort of peeling it off, and that messes with how the paper is sort of set up. So what I messed with today is, since it's single color and that registration isn't so important, just forcing the paper onto the tacks instead of, I guess this section of the tape is just louder, putting just shoving paper onto it. So what I have here is it's slightly cut off because I'm going to record this through QuickTime as well. Anyway, I could just shut stuff off. I'd rather not. I like having myself in the corner. Anyway, yeah, I don't really need to. Where are these at? Boop, boop. And where is cassette stuff? Yeah, I'm just thinking about the fact that I could organize this a little bit better. Have it so these are all connected. Can I add a group? That's what I want. Add a group. This is paper etc. So let's grab these guys, throw them all into paper etc. And then if I turn, wait, are these inside this? No. Okay. Chat, cassette. Can you not put a secondary thing in there? I guess not in OBS. It should be up top though. Okay, so I can, wait, I didn't even put Facecam in there. Ugh. Okay, so I can do like mute this, and then let's adjust this slightly. Okay. So that's so that I can turn stuff on and off as I'm going. It's annoying that you can't do like second, you can't put a group inside of a group. But it means that I'll be able to record this full bit directly from OBS and I won't have to use a second thing. Anyway, so this animation that I have right here is a basic run cycle that I used for my counting lambs animation. If you want to see them larger, I went ahead and pulled out the stills from that. It's a 30 frame animation. Breathe it heavy on there. 30 frame animation that's black and white. Just a ink drawing, but what I did was I just took the silhouette of half of it because it's the same silhouette for the first half and the second half. It's just whether or not it has this arm and leg in front or in back. And so if it's converted to a silhouette, then it's just flat and it's half the number of frames, which is nice because then I can work a little bit larger because for doing the rubbing stuff, doesn't work super great with very fine detail. I'm going to flip this tape. Flip this tape, and then I'll do a version of this animation just showing what it is. I'm going to do a few of them. It's going to be the same animation for it all, but I just want to try some different approaches to the rubbing and different color and see how clear or not clear it is, stuff like that, and then have a longer animation that's the same looping bit. This should be behind here. There you go. Okay. So that's the plan. And during that time, I'm going to mute this so that I can record the process as a full frame sort of deal and not have this paper texture interrupting it all. So flip tape, get rid of me in the corner, and then start doing some rubbing stuff here on this paper and mess around with some different colors and different materials and see what all we end up with. I'll be here, but I'm going to be not visible. And if you have any questions, ask them. Okay, now I'm back. Hello. So, now I gotta scan some of these. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna put this other guy away. Got some from earlier that I was messing with. I also have one that I did on the cutout, so this is like the inverse of what it would be. Where this is raised up. Where most of these that I've been working with, they've been based on the cutout section, so it gives a white remnant. But yeah, so scan time. It'll take a minute to scan. I can show you, I did one in paint earlier, like using acrylic paint, and it's not as pronounced of a texture, but it does work. So I can show that while I'm scanning stuff. You can see the figure in the middle. It's not super pronounced. What ended up happening was I had to sort of press down on the paint and make it thicker where it was, there was an impression. It's also a wet medium, so it has its own issues. It's a bit compressed on my preview of the output, but anyway, let me scan this. It's going to be scan. I'm just going to do this 01. If I don't do it like that, then I'm going to have a rough time of things. And let me see, Photoshop is open, but it doesn't have anything running, so let's come back over here, come down to Photoshop, turn on Photoshop, and I'm going to open up the Align file that I did the paint test in a little bit earlier. Oh, that's not what I want. What happened here? Did I grab this and put it weird? Yeah, okay. Wait. View. Window, arrange, workspace. Let's hit this and then view or window, workspace, essentials default. I don't know why it popped weird for a second there. Anyway, currently scanning, and now let's just zoom in and you can see a little bit of the sort of outline of the figure. It's something that for animation, the average of what's present sort of becomes what you see, because if you were looking at any one of these individually, you might not necessarily see the silhouette. Like I finished scanning, so I'm going to start scanning sometimes. Let's just make it so I don't have to preview things as a scan. Go to and run cycle scans. lines. Scanner 1. I'm gonna move this stuff. So that I don't stab myself on tacks. And so I can pull my keyboard out. And this will be a lot easier to work on. Okay. So the registration points for this are going to be the holes that I poked in the paper. Give or take. It's not going to be a perfect thing. Everything shifts around a bit also while working on these, because it's not like taped down. It's just held in place by those few tacks, and the paper is malleable and will shift a little bit as pressure is put on it and it's rubbed in different directions. It'll tear a little bit more at the corner holes that I'm working in. And do I have anything open that would be really draining RAM or anything? It's just this guy. Let me pause this here. I don't have anything else running, right? Yeah, it's just window capture and stuff. Anyway, pull this over here. That's looking okay for that registration mark. Let's see how it goes when I come to this one. Looks decent. These are going to be a little bit off overall. But it's enough motion in there that it doesn't need to be perfect. Image with rotation, 9 degrees clockwise. And this is 9,000 by 5,700 was what I made this to be. And let's do a line, a 1. Let me undo that because I would like to make this save, replace, and do maximum. I had to save a file slightly smaller. Save that, paste it in here. And just so you can see what this is going to end up looking like, and so I can see what it ends up looking like, I'm going to save this out as individual stills and load it in so that I have something that's a little bit clearer of an outline. Stills, 1 blue, 1 blue. All user slashes, save this out. And then load these into stack. It should run a little bit faster in general because I'm dealing with only 16 frames per loop as opposed to typically I've been using 30. I'm going to save out this animation and then I'm going to work more in an efficient way soon after by being a little bit better about the not sort of undoing presets that come about from the process. It's just a 1 blue. And come to OBS and change out this image location. Live designs, not there. I need here, and here we go. So I'm gonna process a bunch of this stuff and then come back and have various versions of this animation available to be viewed, but it's a lot faster overall if I do this in sections as opposed to everything all at once. Or doing each sort of section of the process instead of doing each one individually. So let's open up that second scan. Scan 2, yep, that's what I want. That's fun to see. This is like too fast to save these out, or to sketch them. And there's some setup, but once it's set up, it's super easy. So this is red, pinks, stills, conventional 2, red, pinks, all user slices, red, pinks, and let's open up the next one. No, I don't want to print. Don't pull up the print dial. Okay, cancel. Scans 03. This one will be 03A, 03B, because I get two versions from this one because I inverted it. Clockwise. This is 9,5700. Save this. Line 03. this, paste it into here. Save out both of these. This one is O3A. O3B. Pretty good. Now I gotta save out the rest of these stills. Shouldn't be too long. Mm-hmm. These are all saved. Save this. It is a PSB, so it'll be fine. Scripts, load files on a stack. We are going to just be going through. I did that one. I did blue, so now I need to just do number 2 red pinks and go from there. Close out of that and run these scripts, which will save me time. Now we get to change what the export settings are. It goes from JPEG to a GIF. And we're going to see how large. These shouldn't be too large because they're fewer frames. And relatively limited on the mix of colors. Okay. GIFs. Go to red, yellow. Got a couple more folks tuned in for the exciting part of saving out the GIFs. So you can see what's happening. I'll pull up the ones that I have exported so far. Now 3A. This one might be a little bit more interesting because it's going to be backwards. I'm not exactly sure how this will play. That one's kind of invisible. I'm not going to use that one, but I will use the next one because it should be a little bit clearer. I wanted to see what it looked like if it was overlaid, and it's not very clear what's happening there. This one's a bit better. This is the inverse one, the one that's moving a little bit, where it wasn't on stream, but it was when I put paper on top of the cutout sections instead of the paper that had the pieces cut out of it. Get a little bit more variation in color soon. All of these compress pretty poorly because there's so much sort of grainy, noisy texture. Changing in colors is fun. This one will be a nice shift. Boom, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Green yellow. Typed out green yellow and I read it as greeny yellow. Which is exciting. This one you get, yeah, a little bit more color variation. And the flashing is more pronounced, but it's fun. It's a nice shift. Man, that is compressed. This is one that I'm curious about. My voice cracked. And then I think the one after this might be one of the better ones. I always type it CYMK. But it's CMYK. Boom ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. So many running dudes. Let's turn off the first one. Almost done. Alright, let's just switch this up. And one last one. Is there a hair in there? Yeah, there's a hair in there. Nice. Always gotta be a hair somewhere. That's more of a fiber, but I still like to omit it. You can kind of see where it's at, but not as clearly. Okay. Save this one out. switch it out for this guy. That one's just the cutout section. It's interesting to have just a quick thing. The ultimate sort of like goal of this is to make it something that people can easily mess with on their own. I like the idea of having this in a gallery space and people just do their own, do a dry rub thing, and then they have a sense of ownership without having to do all that much work. Just sort of the, I don't know, I like things that are something but not alienating, that have a pretty immediate sense of gratification, while also allowing for some amount of creativity and variation, but pretty straightforward for what the outcome is. Anyway, I'm going to take this moment right now to just rename some stuff, because I need to do that before doing video files, and it's just easier if I do it all sort of in one go. Rename those guys. Name 08-CMY dash 7 edit rename 07-CMYK dash 6 rename 6 reds dash rename 05 select all rename 05 dash green yellow dash rename select all these rename 04 dash blue inverse dash 03B rename 03B red blue dash rename 03A dash blue red dash rename 02 dash red pinks dash rename 1 select all these rename 1 blue, and finally the paint test 00 dash paint test dash rename. Okay, I think that's it for now. I might mess around with this tomorrow again, but like start with an animation. Something I am curious about is maybe doing something that is like 16 frames, so it's a little bit smaller, but like smaller number of frames, larger details, but I can come through and export a few different ones and then do a dry sort of thing and then have sort of a few animations running, or like you could have it as I just want to do one of these loops, or you can have 2 loops and they'll interact with each other. Figuring some more stuff out as I go along, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. Spiel time. If you want to buy stuff from me, you can go to my web store, traceloops.com/store. If you want to purchase something and have it shipped outside of the U.S., you can email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. You can also email me with comments, concerns, questions, curiosities, commissions, etc., etc. Again, that is traceloops@traceloops.com. If you want to follow me on other platforms, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, Spotify, all of those places. I'm Traceloops, TRACELOOPS. If you want to watch this stream or other streams in full, you can do so by going to the live section of my YouTube channel. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Traceloops, where you will find high-resolution versions of artwork that I create during streams. You'll also find a selection of tutorials, and then at higher tiers, new songs from me weekdays, and at the highest tier, you get a monthly postcard from me with original artwork on the front, little message on the back, and a discount to that aforementioned web store. That's it for today. Plan on being back tomorrow. I will not be here Friday, so that's just a heads up. But I'm going to head out. Hope you have a nice afternoon. I might try to see about doing just a couple of these on TikTok or Instagram so that I got a live feed there. I don't know. I mentioned that before, and I didn't do it, but maybe I will. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to head out. Adios.